Before the world has a chance to name you, define you, or drain you, you must speak power into your own soul. Mornings aren't just routines, they are resurrection. Every sunrise brings a rebirth, and what you declare in that sacred silence becomes the script of your day. You are not here to survive, you are here to command, to create, and to conquer. So before the noise of the world gets loud, whisper 6 truths that make you unshakable. These are not affirmations, they are activations. Your words are spells, and these 6 will remind your spirit that you are still the storm. Number 1, today I speak from power, not pain. Today I speak from power, not pain. This is not just a mantra, it is a moment of inner revolution, a bold declaration that I will no longer allow my wounds to be the loudest voice in the room. For too long, pain has shaped the way I speak, the way I move, the way I see myself and others. It has wrapped itself around my tongue, turned my words into weapons against myself, and dimmed the power of my voice. But today, I reclaim my narrative. I refuse to keep giving the microphone to my past, to trauma, to disappointment, to betrayal. Those moments may have written a few chapters, but they will not write the ending. Today, I remember that my story is not just about survival, it's about sovereignty. Speaking from pain is like living with a broken compass. It leads you in circles of self-doubt, misjudgment, over-explanation, and emotional exhaustion. But speaking from power is liberation. It's when you trust your wisdom more than your wounds, when you recognize that you are not what happened to you, but what you choose to become next. When I speak from power, I don't need to justify my worth, defend my value, or dilute my truth to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold me. Power speaks calmly because it knows what it carries. It doesn't yell to be heard, it resonates. Speaking from power means I no longer allow the past to dictate my tone, my energy, or my choices. I've spent enough years explaining my pain, reliving it in conversations that only reopened wounds. Now I use my voice to create, to command, to connect. I no longer talk about who hurt me. I speak about who I am becoming. I don't echo my disappointments. I declare my direction. I'm not here to bleed in front of those who wouldn't even bring a bandage. I'm here to build, to rise, to remind myself that healing isn't about forgetting, it's about alchemizing. When I speak from power, I make decisions that honor my future, not ones rooted in the shadows of my past. I choose clarity over chaos, purpose over people-pleasing, strength over self-sabotage. And even when pain tries to sneak back in, I pause and ask, is this coming from the part of me that was broken, or the part that was born to rise? Because there is a difference. There is a warrior in me who has been waiting for this shift, for me to stop begging the world to understand my pain and start embodying the force I truly am. My voice becomes a tool of transformation, not a cry for validation. I speak with intention, not insecurity. I speak to build bridges to my future, not stay trapped in the ruins of my past. Today, when I open my mouth, it is not to rehearse limitations, but to reveal light. My voice now carries vision. It tells a new story, one where I am no longer the victim, but the visionary. One where I don't suppress truth to keep the peace, but speak truth to become peace. I now understand that power is not loud, it is aligned. It doesn't need to prove itself, it simply shows up, grounded and glowing. This is the version of me that doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, doesn't shrink to fit. I rise with my back straight and my words clear, because every syllable I speak from power affirms my identity, affirms my path, and reminds me that I am not lost. I was just silent, but not anymore. Today, I speak from power, not pain, and because of that, everything changes. People feel the shift, Rooms respond differently, opportunities open, and energy flows freely. I become magnetic, not because I chased validation, but because I embodied truth. And the greatest truth of all is this: I am powerful beyond measure, not in spite of my pain, but because I chose to speak from the healing, not the hurt. Number 2. My presence is my proof. My presence is my proof. 7 simple words that carry the thunder of everything I've ever survived, everything I've ever risen from, and everything I am still becoming. I no longer need to explain myself, overextend myself, or shrink to fit into someone else's comfort zone, because the mere fact that I'm here, breathing, walking, choosing to rise again, is enough. My existence is not an accident. It is not up for debate. It does not require permission or external validation to be powerful. My presence is not something I need to justify. It is the living, breathing evidence that I am worthy, that I have purpose, that something greater than fear has carried me to this very moment. I am not defined by applause, approval, or acknowledgement. I am defined by endurance, by grace, under pressure, and destitute of acknowledgement. I am defined by applause, approval, or acknowledgement. I am defined by endurance, by grace, under pressure, and undefined by battle, by fear, by pressure, by violence, by menace, by no despise, by the unseen battles I fought in silence while still showing up with strength. Every scar on my soul tells a story, not of defeat, but of divine resilience. The world may not know the depth of what I've overcome, but that's not my burden to bear anymore. I don't owe anyone the footnotes of my survival, just so they understand why I shine the way I do. I shine because I am. I rise because I must. I move with quiet fire because I can. My presence in any room, in any situation is enough to declare, I belong here. Not because I was invited, not because I was chosen by others, but because I chose myself. I chose to keep showing up. I chose to keep believing. I chose to rise when every voice, internal and external, told me to stay down. My presence is sacred. It shifts energy, it disrupts mediocrity, it challenges narratives, and it calls everything around me to a higher standard. I walk into spaces with the full awareness that I bring something divine, something rare, something no one else on this earth can replicate. Me. I am not here to compete, to compare, or to convince. I am here to contribute from the well of wisdom and strength within me. People may overlook you, underestimate you, or even try to erase you, but they can't duplicate you. And the moment you truly understand that your presence is your proof, you stop trying to explain your worth and start walking in it. You no longer wait to be chosen. You realize you've already been equipped. You stop explaining your past. You start embodying your power. You stop asking for permission. You start making space where none existed before. You carry yourself differently, not with arrogance, but with alignment. Not with ego, but with essence. There is nothing louder than silent confidence, the kind that doesn't scream for attention but commands respect through presence alone. That is the power you hold when you understand that being is proof enough. Your presence proves that the darkness did not win. It proves that your story has more to be written. It proves that your purpose was never cancelled by your pain. Walk tall. Speak slowly. Move intentionally. Let your presence speak long before your words ever do. Let it announce that you are not to be taken lightly, that you are not what they assumed, that you are not here to play small, stay hidden, or go unnoticed. You are here to be felt, to awaken, to inspire, to elevate. You are not the echo of what broke you. You are the voice of what healed you. Let that truth radiate from every part of your being. Let it be known through your silence, through your stillness, through your strength. Your presence is not just proof that you exist, it is proof that you matter, that you have something this world desperately needs, that your energy is medicine, your story is a key, your vision is light in places that have known only shadows. You don't have to do more, say more, or be more to be enough. You already are. The world begins to respond in kind. You become a force that cannot be ignored, not because you're loud, but because you're real. Not because you're flawless, but because you're fully here. My presence is my proof. It is the signature of everything I've walked through and everything I'm walking toward. I don't need permission to shine. I don't need a platform to matter, and I don't need a title to be powerful. I just need to be. And that is more than enough. Number 3, I am the cause, not the effect. I am the cause, not the effect. This is the moment I reclaim authorship of my life. The moment I stop reacting to everything around me and start creating from within. I am not a puppet of circumstance, nor am I a byproduct of other people's choices, moods, or expectations. I am the origin point. I am the fire starter. I am the force that shapes what follows. For too long, I allowed my energy to be tethered to the chaos around me, responding to people's opinions, absorbing negativity, shrinking under rejection, and blaming situations for my stagnation. But now I see clearly. Every time I react without intention, I surrender my power. Every time I blame what's outside me, I betray what's inside me. But not anymore. I am the cause. I choose my mindset. I create my momentum. I set the tone for my day, my life, and my legacy. I no longer wait for things to change. I initiate change. I don't need the perfect conditions. I don't need everyone's support. I don't need all the answers in advance. I move because I've decided to move. And that decision alone is enough to change everything. When I am the cause, I understand that my energy introduces me before I speak, and my choices echo long after I leave. I no longer say, they made me feel this way, because no one has that power unless I hand it to them. I no longer wait for motivation to strike like lightning from the sky. I generate it with my habits, my focus, my purpose. I don't chase opportunities, I attract them by being in alignment. I don't complain about the noise. I become the calm. I don't wait for doors. It means I lead my emotions instead of letting them lead me. It means I don't let fear decide, don't let failure define, don't let distraction derail. When I say I am the cause, I'm not pretending that life won't test me. I'm reminding myself that even in the storm, I steer. Even when the winds howl, I set my sail. I am not here to live in reaction. I am here to live in creation. And that means I speak what I seek, I do what I declare, I act in alignment with my vision. And that means I speak what I seek, I do what I declare. I act in alignment. No more waiting for clarity. I move, and clarity meets me on the path. No more playing small and calling it humility. I own my influence. I recognize that my thoughts birth my reality. My words shape my atmosphere, and my actions construct the future I will one day walk into. I no longer let the past cast a shadow over the present or allow the unknown to paralyze the next step. Because I am not a statistic. I am not a victim of environment, upbringing, or limitation. I am a creator of new outcomes. I rise above circumstance, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Being the cause means I take full ownership, not just of my wins, but of my mistakes. my energy, my attitude, and my evolution. I don't wait for others to see my worth. I embody it. I don't let silence from others determine the volume of my mission. I amplify it anyway. When things fall apart, I don't collapse. I recalibrate. When delays come, I don't panic. I prepare. I understand that results are not random. They are reflections of consistency, of courage, of conscious decision making. And every day I wake up, I have a new chance to create new course, to sow better seeds, speak higher truths, set stronger standards. I do not dance to the tune of outer chaos. I set the rhythm by the beat of my own inner certainty. This is radical responsibility. This is freedom, because when I'm the cause, no one can take it from me. Not the doubters, not the critics, not the silence, not the setbacks. My power comes from within, and when I live from that place, I become unstoppable. I don't hope for breakthroughs, I become one. I don't wait to be chosen, I choose myself. And every time I remind myself of this truth, I am the cause, not the effect. I wake up my inner leader, my inner warrior, my inner creator. I become less reactive, more intentional, less scattered, more focused, less at the mercy of life, more in mastery of it. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is not delusion, it is discipline. It is not magic, it is the natural outcome of owning my role as the initiator of my reality. I am the cause, and because I am the cause, nothing outside me can cancel what is already mine unless I let it. And I won't. Not today, not ever again. Number 4, my discipline is my deliverance. My discipline is my deliverance. Not my luck, not my emotions, not some miracle falling from the sky, but the quiet, consistent choices I make when no one is watching. The relentless commitment to becoming the person I said I'd be long after the mood in which I made that promise has faded. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. And I now understand that every breakthrough I crave is hidden in the daily decisions I either make or avoid. The world will tell me to wait for motivation, to chase the spark, to move only when I feel ready, but I don't need to feel like it to follow through. I don't need inspiration to show up. I show up because I've already made the decision that quitting is not an option. My deliverance doesn't come from wishing or whining or waiting. It comes from my willingness to hold the line, to do the hard thing again and again until it becomes who I am. Discipline isn't punishment, it's permission. It gives me permission to rise above excuses, to transcend patterns that once sabotaged me, to escape the trap of instant gratification and step into the freedom that only self-mastery can give. It is the path to peace, to power, to purpose. It is the proof that I value my future more than I crave short-term comfort. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it costs energy, focus, repetition, but so does regret, and I refuse to be ruled by the pain of what I could have done. Every time I choose discipline, I rewire my identity. I no longer say, I can't help it. I say, I choose differently now. I wake up early when sleep tries to seduce me. I keep my promises to myself and distraction tries to pull me off track. I push through resistance, not because I love struggle, but because I love what's on the other side of it. I have learned that freedom is not the absence of boundaries, it's the reward of mastering them. The world may not understand why I train when no one's clapping, why I work in silence, why I sacrifice comfort for consistency. But I know why. And when my time comes, I put myself first to set boundaries, to continue what I know, what I know, what I know, what I know is not boundaries. But I know why. I know why, because persistency is the father of all things. I call the bed at fire, but concept. Persistency is the father of all things, because I am not here to be average. I am not here to live by default. I am not here to let life happen to me. I am here to shape it. And that requires discipline, like oxygen. Discipline is how I prove to the universe that I'm ready to receive what I've been asking for. I can't pray for strength and then avoid the gym of life. I can't dream of greatness while indulging in habits that betray it. So I choose structure. I choose standards. I choose systems that support the future I see. And when I fall off, I don't spiral into self-pity. I get back up, realign, recommit. Because discipline isn't perfection, it's persistence. It's the unglamorous grind that builds the unbreakable mind. It's what makes me trust myself when others doubt me. It's what keeps me moving forward, even when progress feels invisible. Discipline teaches me that feelings are visitors, but habits are home. And I want to live in a home built on excellence, not excuses. There will be days when everything in me wants to quit. When it would be easier to give in, to justify slacking off, to hide behind distractions. But on those days, I dig deeper. I remember that the version of me I'm becoming is forged in fire, not comfort. That deliverance, true deliverance from fear, from mediocrity, from self-sabotage, comes only when I become the kind of person who does the work, regardless of applause, recognition, or even results. I show up because I said I would. I move forward because my mission demands it. I practice, I push, I persist, not because it's easy, but because it's required. Because the life I want doesn't come on sale, and I'm not here for shortcuts. I am here to evolve. I am here to embody greatness. And every drop of discipline I invest today compounds into the confidence, clarity, and character I will carry tomorrow. I don't need someone to save me. I save myself every day by refusing to negotiate with my own limits. My discipline is my deliverance. It rescues me from the version of myself that settles, that complains, that waits. It sets me free to rise, to lead, to live with intention. And in the end, it won't be luck, fate, or timing that delivers me. It will be the fact that I kept showing up when it was hard, kept walking when it was uphill, kept believing when there was no applause. That's what will carry me to everything I was born to become. Number 5, I release all that weakens my light. I release all that weakens my light. Because I finally understand that not everything I carry is meant to come with me into the future I'm building. Not every connection is aligned with my elevation, and not every thought deserves space in the sacred place of my mind. I no longer cling to what drains me just because it's familiar, and I refuse to keep dragging dead weight into the dawn of my becoming. My light, my peace, my clarity, my energy, my essence is not something I can afford to compromise. Not for approval, not for comfort, not for nostalgia, not for the illusion of loyalty. I now release guilt that isn't mine to hold, conversations that no longer inspire growth, and relationships that no longer survive when I shrink. I release the need to explain my healing to those committed to misunderstanding me. I release the burden of proving my worth to those too blind to see it. I release the subtle self-betrayal of saying yes when my soul screams no. I release environments that keep me small, habits that numb my power, and thoughts that echo an outdated version of myself. I'm done apologizing for evolving, done pretending I'm okay with things I've outgrown, done entertaining situations that deplete rather than deepen me. To protect my light, I must be ruthless with anything that dims it. This isn't bitterness, it's boundaries. This isn't arrogance, it's awareness. I don't release because I hate, I release because I honor. I honor the light within me that is trying to expand, to heal, to rise. And sometimes, honoring that light means letting go of people I love, roles I once valued, or dreams that no longer fit who I've become. This is the quiet work of liberation, the kind that doesn't always make sense to others, but feels like truth in my bones. I no longer carry what was never mine. Projected fears, secondhand shame, false obligations, outdated expectations. I release timelines that make me feel behind, roles that make me feel invisible, and identities that make me feel stuck. I release the internalized noise that tells me I need to hustle for love, perform for acceptance, or earn rest. I choose to live lighter, not because life is easy, but because I refuse to make it heavier than it needs to be. My light is sacred. It is how I see, how I lead, how I serve. And if something is clouding it, be it fear, resentment, distraction, or delay, it must go. I no longer tolerate emotional chaos as a default setting. I crave stillness, presence, alignment. I choose friendships that nourish my soul, not just flatter my ego. I choose solitude over noise, clarity over confusion, alignment over attachment. I trust that when I release, I create space. And in that space, miracles can move. I don't have to hold on just because I once held tight. I don't have to carry pain just because I carried it well. I don't have to dim just to fit. I now release with love, with intention, with grace, because the cost of holding on is no longer worth it. Every time I let go of what weakens me, I reclaim a piece of my power. I get lighter, sharper, freer. My intuition gets louder, my path gets clearer, my peace deepens, and I start to remember. My light was never the problem. It was everything attached to it that didn't belong. I was never too much. I was just too bright for the dim dynamics I was taught to tolerate. But no more. I choose to radiate without restraint, to protect my peace like it's sacred ground, to walk away from anything that feels like a slow spiritual erosion. I don't chase closure. I choose clarity. I don't beg for understanding. I bless and release, and in that release I rise. I return to myself. I remember who I was before the world told me to edit, dim, or dilute. This is not just healing, it is resurrection. And it begins with release. So today, I speak these words with unwavering truth. I release all that weakens my light. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. And in doing so, I make room for everything that strengthens it. Joy, vision, truth, love, and limitless expansion. Number 6. This day bows to the power I bring. This day bows to the power I bring, because I no longer wake up hoping for permission, praying for perfect conditions, or waiting for the world to hand me what I've already earned within. I rise with intention. I rise with authority. I rise knowing that the energy I carry sets the tone for everything that follows. This day does not control me. I command it with the force of my focus, the clarity of my vision, and the truth of who I am becoming. I am not here to react, I am here to reign. I am not here to merely survive the day, I am here to shape it, stretch it, and set it on fire with purpose. Every room I enter, I bring power. Every step I take, I bring momentum. Every conversation I have, I bring presence. And when I do that, This day has no choice but to rise to meet me. It bends to the vibration I walk in, because I am no longer apologizing for my greatness, no longer editing my energy, no longer suppressing my spirit to make others comfortable. This day bows because I show up different now. I show up as someone who understands that life doesn't just happen to me. It happens through me. I don't drag yesterday's weight into today's miracle. I release the past. I cancel the noise. I center myself in the now, because this moment is holy. This breath is sacred. And this opportunity is not random. It is a reflection of the readiness I've built in silence. When I open my eyes, I understand that I am not at the mercy of time. I am the master of it. I choose how I respond. I choose what I amplify. I choose where my attention goes, because where my attention flows, energy grows, and I guard my energy like royalty guards a crown. I no longer give my power away to pettiness, to fear, to distraction, or to doubt. I rise with standards. I rise with strategy. I rise knowing that every second is a seed, and I plant each one with intention, because I know what I'm building. This day must bow to the consistency I bring, to the discipline I practice, to the grace I carry even under pressure. I do not perform, I embody. I do not chase, I attract by being the clearest, truest, highest version of myself. This day listens to me, because I walk with a spirit that doesn't flinch, a presence that doesn't fade, a light that doesn't ask permission to shine. And no, not every moment will go my way, but even then, I bend the lesson toward my purpose. I don't crumble, I calibrate. I don't complain, I command. I don't fall apart, I refrain, because I trust the power I bring is not seasonal, it is eternal. It is rooted. It is earned through every decision I made when it was hard, through every moment I chose discipline over distraction, through every night I held on to vision, when results were nowhere in sight. I don't need this day to validate me. I walk in already validated. I don't need everyone to see me, I see myself. I don't need guarantees, I am the guarantee. The power I bring is not for show. It is for shaping futures and standing in full alignment with what I know I was born to do. And when you live like that, when you carry that level of energetic certainty, the day listens. Opportunities notice. People shift. Doors open. Synchronicities align. Not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. Because you finally stopped waiting to feel powerful and started moving as power. So yes, this day, right here, right now, bows to the power I bring. Because I bring presence. I bring clarity. I bring intention. I bring light. And wherever I go, that light speaks louder than words. I don't beg for favor, I expect it. I don't ask for strength, I walk in it. I don't wish for alignment, I live in it. And if resistance comes, I meet it like a mirror, firm, grounded, unshaken, because this is my time, this is my space, this is my frequency, and no force on earth is more powerful than someone who shows up knowing they are already enough, already chosen, already equipped. So today doesn't own me, I own it. This day doesn't define me, I define it. And by the time the sun sets, the world will know someone who understands their own power walked through it. And everything had to bow in response. Every morning is not just the start of a new day, it's a sacred doorway into the reality you are creating. What you whisper to yourself in those quiet moments before the world interrupts is either your weapon or your weakness. These 6 truths. I speak from power, not pain. My presence is my proof. I am the cause, not the effect. My discipline is my deliverance. I release all that weakens my light, and this day bows to the power I bring. Are not just affirmations. They are spiritual anchors, daily decrees that realign you with your highest self. When you speak them, believe them. Don't just say them, embody them. Let these declarations become the framework for how you see yourself, how you walk through the world, and how you respond to both challenge and blessing. Don't underestimate the power of your own voice. You are your first prophet. Your words are instructions to your nervous system, your spirit, your reality. Start your day by commanding it. Don't wait for life to be gentle before you speak powerfully. Speak powerfully so that life responds with alignment. Let go of habits that sabotage your growth. Let go of relationships that dull your spirit. And let go of the old version of you that's too small for the future you are building. Your mornings are your reset button. Use them to train your soul to expect greatness, peace, and purpose. Choose these truths over the noise, over doubt, over delay. And when it gets hard to believe them, say them anyway. Speak until your bones remember, until your mind shifts, until your day transforms under the weight of your inner certainty. Let us pray together, Heavenly Creator, Divine Source of strength and light. I thank you for this new day. I thank you for breath, for life, for another sacred opportunity to rise in alignment with the purpose you planted within me. I declare that today I will not lead with pain. I will lead with power. I will not hide. I will shine. I ask for your guidance as I walk in truth, speak in clarity, and act in faith. Strengthen my discipline, sharpen my discernment, and help me release anything not aligned with your will for my life. Surround me with peace that passes understanding, with favor that follows obedience, and with courage that does not crumble in adversity. Protect my light from the forces that seek to dim it. Elevate my thoughts, purify my heart, and let my presence be a reflection of your greatness within me. May this day bend to the divine power I carry. May I speak life, move with intention, and stand in victory. Amen.